Hi, I'm Will Townsend. I manage the networking and security practices for Moor Insights and Strategy. And on this Moor Insights and Strategy Insider podcast, I'm pleased to have Marvell, and we're talking about the custom silicon era. So, Sandeep, Will, welcome.
Thank you, Will. It's great to be here.
Good to be here,
Awesome.
Will.
Yeah. So, Sandeep, how about a quick introduction? What do you manage at Marvell?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm the Chief Development Officer here at Marvell. And what that really means is I manage the central engineering team, which is foundational for all of the business units, products that the business units develop for various end markets. And the way to think about it is five fundamental pillars, which is process technology, advanced processes, packaging technology, whether it's 2D, 2.5D, 3D, 3.5D, all the analog mixed signal IP portfolio that is so critical for the businesses, whether it is connectivity business or custom compute business. Then we have, CAD methodology and design of these hyperscaler chips or reticle buster dies, and, and to bring it all together is what we also do is source third party foundational IP when we are not doing it, where value add comes from a joint effort.
Awesome. That's a big remit there. And we have two Wills on, this edition of the Insider podcast. So Will Power. Will, what do you do for Marvell?
Yeah, hi. So my name is Will Chu. I'm the Senior Vice President and General Manager of a business group here called Custom Compute and Storage. And we hope that the name is pretty self-explanatory. So from a technology perspective, I own the business group that's promoting our compute and storage technologies. And we have the custom there because most and an increasing amount of our business is customized to help our customers be successful.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to the conversation. I want to set a little bit of context though before we jump into it. And obviously, next generation AI applications, including generative AI, represent this decade's probably most transformative innovation. Tech stacks have to keep pace with the need to process massive data sets in the cloud, the data center, and at network edges. And so, custom purpose built silicon will be necessary, in my mind, to deliver the appropriate levels of performance, power management, offload, and interconnect, really to realize the true potential of AI. So, with that said, I'd love to talk about getting into custom silicon specifically, and maybe Sandeep, we can start with you. Can you spend some time on its history relative to merchant, and why are customers adopting custom silicon in growing numbers?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's today AI is significantly accelerating the pace of innovation. I mean, if you look at the training compute, which is doubling at, pick your favorite timeline, 6 months to 9 months, computational performance doubling. It was 2 years. Now it's even faster.
Mm-hmm.
Algorithmic improvements is also having the compute necessary for the particular workload in 6 months' time. So all this has been possible only due to the customization necessary, because so much of the AI training and inference workloads are very different. And it behooves on us that we are not in the era where any given instruction set architecture, be it ARM, x86, what have you, is just necessary for tuning these high performance workloads. A customized version of compute and its connectivity to move the bits and bytes, which is the data movement challenge that we have, is equally important as we look at these hyperscaler build-outs. And it's all about power, performance, cost, the total cost of ownership that can only be purpose-built and bespoke. And that's what we see in order to ensure that these exponentials are continuing beyond what, some of these exponentials are, as I said, accelerating more than what Moore's law was, and that requires customization.
Absolutely. And, what I'm impressed with Marvell is, your focus on kind of when you look at the connectivity stack and you look at security, what you're doing to support front end and back end networks to, provide the necessary connectivity, performance, low latency for these workloads. And certainly DPs play a big part of that. Will, anything to add to what Sandeep said?
Well, I think what we see at Marvell is we've made a big shift into developing custom solutions, uh, and as a leading player for AI infrastructure in general across the stack. So we do see quite a large opportunity. If I give you some numbers, I think this year for the AI opportunity, the TAM, the market for Marvell, in calendar 23, we kind of estimated that to be about 21 billion, going to about 75 billion by calendar 28. And if you look specifically at the custom accelerators that we focus on, we think that market by calendar 28 is about 43 billion. So that's quite a large opportunity. And so, as Sandeep said, there's the customer need to continue driving higher levels of performance and better TCO.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a technology platform that Sandeep builds to deliver all that. And we've really focused the company to be able to serve our customers and be successful in enabling that next generation infrastructure.
It's a great point because the emphasis is all around GPU, right? I mean, so you can't go a day without hearing something from NVIDIA or AMD or Intel to a lesser extent. And there are many other pieces of silicon that are important. But before we get too deep into it, though, it might be helpful to define for our viewers what is custom silicon, right? So it can be full custom. It can be modified existing solutions. So, Will, what's your take on the definition of custom silicon?
Yeah, so we have quite a broad and flexible offering to our customers. If you looked at it from a really high level, we go from end to end. We have engagements where it's build to spec, where the customer gives us, we joke on a napkin, they write what they want, and we build it, fully customize and optimize their application. All the way to the other end of the spectrum where we just support customers in manufacturing only. We have some engagements there that leverage our supply chain, our scale, and our prowess in manufacturing. Now, within the middle, of course, we have many different variants where the customer typically does provide us some IP, and we add services in terms of traditional back-end services. And in many instances, Marvell also has a vast catalog of its own IPs that we incorporate with our customers' IP to generate the best solution.
Yeah.
The magic for Marvell is really our deep partnership model, where we work really closely with our customers quite early on to define what that product really should be to help optimize for our customers and applications, what it takes for them to be successful. And we have this very broad-based platform that enables us to in-source their IP or outsource our IP in a very flexible manner to be successful. And we see, because of the dynamics and the fast changing pace of what's needed for next generation AI based infrastructure, that flexibility is a key component of what we offer. And it does really, in the end, speak to the expertise and the many years of experience inside of Marvell to deliver custom solutions. Our ability to have different models is really a key, as well as the technical know-how to integrate, all of these IPs in the leading nodes at the most highest levels of performance.
Yeah, and I would imagine that you might have customers come to you with, preconceived notions about what they need. And based on all of your experience and the years that you've been doing this and your leadership and things like power management, that you're able to use that consultative knowledge, right, to help really fine tune and, drive the best return on investment for your customers. But Sandeep, do you have anything else to add to what Will just spoke to?
Yeah, the customizations span a wide variety, just like Will said.
Mhm.
What we bring is, because of the diversity of the product portfolio that Marvell has, we have, I'll give a simple example. We built um, different products and different process technologies with being on the leading edge of, either 5 or 3 or 2 and beyond. But while process technology is foundational, as you know, for building
Mhm.
all these advanced products, what is equally important is understanding the needs of advanced packages. Um, because, as people talk about the bits and bytes, the megahertz, gigahertz, what have you, and the process nodes, but packaging is significantly important as we are building these complex products, which are integrating high bandwidth memories, integrating a high speed SerDes with either a 2D or 2.5D package, and getting all that within the confines of what can fit in a 1,000 watt envelope or a 500 watt envelope. How do we ensure that the thermal and reliability and all of it at the back end works such that we can hit volume production? So a lot of these innovations are brought to bear because of the diversity that we have in our product portfolio, which makes it a compelling option for our customers to really bring all the plethora of technology that we have developed over time to make their products successful.
Yeah, it's a high bar, and there are only a handful of companies like Marvell that have the capabilities to do custom, right? Um,
I'd
and
like to add, if I could, one more thing, Will,
yeah,
if I
well,
could.
sure.
Yeah, and I would say that the results of all the hard work that Marvell has put into this platform and this strategy is really starting to pay off, right? So, I mean, we have major AI accelerator and/or ARM processor design wins with we're public with three of the major hyperscalers,
Hmm.
uh, and we have other CXL and NIC wins, network interface card wins,
Yeah.
and so we're quite pleased that our customers are selecting us and our products are going into production with them and helping them be successful.
Yeah, very good point. And also, gentlemen, from my perspective, custom silicon can provide a tremendous investment protection, just given its programmable nature, higher degrees of performance, and power efficiency. And Marvell obviously is a recognized leader in all those areas, especially when it comes to power. And that's a huge concern right now, right? With generative AI, it's consuming a lot of power in the data center. And there are concerns around that. And so I'd love it, maybe Sandeep, if we could start with you and let's dive a little bit deeper into that and discuss some of these benefits, as well as some of the industries that'll benefit. Certainly the hyperscalers, the cloud service providers are benefiting from that. But let's spend a little bit more time there.
Yeah, excellent point, Bill. In U.S. data center power consumption, the data center demand forecast for just power distribution and consumption is growing 10% annually, and even beyond. So data center power consumption is another exponential that we want to address. And it is not only so it's a top down approach. It's basically look at the system level platform architecture. It's just not the custom silicon itself. What are we solving for the customer at the platform level?
Hmm.
And then go downwards to say what are all the various components of the platform. Is it the silicon photonics piece? Is it the optical DSP and coherent DSP that connects all these data center interconnects, and that in turn has a custom compute silicon aspect? And what are the if you literally track an electron, and I'll be making this one from all the way from the compute to the memory, back to the compute, to external, internal die-to-die links, external through the package. how much energy is consumed in the path of an electron going from one rack to another rack. Literally, I mean, that is the level that we need to be analyzing this and having power and energy efficient practices, whether it is analog mixed signal design that we do,
Mhm.
or logical design to, yeah, of course, power gating and logic gating is tried and trusted across different things, but also from how do we understand the workloads from an instruction set architecture.
Right.
So optimizing across the board is the only way to really bring the TCO back and the energy efficiency back into our customers. That's the way we approach it, Will. So, and this is really truly holistic, and it's an industry problem. It's just not a Marvell problem. So we have to take a look at it holistically.
Yeah, no, very good points. And, an offload can really help, right? With, taking, things off the CPU that can reduce power. Will, anything to add to what Sandeep said?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that, of course, the customers are really driving for better TCO. And I think we have some idea that you can get, better performance per watt. Maybe it's, 25%. We've seen numbers even more, plus
Hmm.
or minus, but there's a substantial benefit with going with custom solutions. And, at a high level, the customers are doing it because they have an optimization,
Right.
right? So and there's so much complexity from the switch to the connectivity to the XPU and everything in the NICs, retimers. There's a whole chain of elements, and that's just some of them in all of the AI transactions. And our customers are looking to optimize every single step, and they're looking to get double-digit level of improvement at least in TCO in terms of percentages with every generation. And that's where we can really help our customers because we do have this broad base set of technologies from
Hmm.
leading SerDes all the way to the largest reticle sized digital chips and everything in between. And we have this partnership model to make it all happen for our customers. And so I think this trend with customization is going to continue because ultimately, as demand for AI services continues to drive more and more deployment of this capital, you have a large economic incentive to keep optimizing. And that's where, as Sandeep said, we can develop these bespoke solutions, and we're one of the a few companies that do it really well.
Well,
And one more
yeah.
point that I wanted to add to Will is, because of the partnership we have with our customers and, the flexibility that we would offer, a lot of the times, especially on the power part of the platform, the OS and the software stack, as well as the orchestration layers that the customers own, will also play a very important role on the power management.
Mhm.
And by us working directly with them with a platform focus, that helps also leverage all the goodness that we can bring, and it's a co-design sort of.
Yeah, and I would imagine also because you're so engaged and custom that you're learning on a constant basis with every customer. You're taking those learnings into future designs. You're expanding the portfolio. You're truly delivering end to end from my perspective, and you're one of the few companies that can truly do this. But we know that the bar is going to continue to be raised, right? I mean, we're at a point now. I think Sandeep, you mentioned sort of the power consumption's increasing double digits every year, but what's Marvell's future, for applications of custom silicon? Maybe we'll start with you.
Well, there's so much to look forward to,
Yeah.
right? So clearly, at a high level, we would start with the process node that continues to march on, even though Moore's law is slowing. We see the new advanced nodes they continue to, and they continue to be introduced, and the expense to develop in those nodes keeps going up and up and up. Every single chip costs a lot more than the last one, and so there's only a handful of companies that have the commitment and scale to continue to stay on that leading trend. And then, of course, all the packaging, going from 2D to 2.5D to 3D and eventually 3.5D. That's a big trend. And we are a leader in optics as well.
Hmm.
And we see integration of optics and co-packaged copper, different other connectivity technologies pulling closer and closer in with the silicon itself. So there's
Hmm.
just a lot to look forward to. I mean, I think maybe Sandeep could add even more to this.
Yeah, Sandeep.
Yeah, so I mean, it's fairly important to understand that we are at the beginning of the AI innings, right? If you look at it today, people talk about the machine learning, whatever chatbots that you have, and as you go further, there's going to be the training parameters are going to the trillions, and then there's incremental training, inferencing. All this requires. You asked about the applications that will form, and then there's newer domains like drug discovery, and that will have uh, bespoke architectures as well.
Hmm.
And things, I mean, people are already working on, automated driving, and that has a certain data center build out, which is different. So the applications are going to really take even things on healthcare is becoming a big piece. Like you have seen
Yeah,
some of the cloud players really deploying architectures on the healthcare industry, genomics, etc. So I believe that we are in the initial innings. When you go to personalized medicine, it's you will get it even in the hands of customizing medications to patients and stuff. And people see these as the end use, but behind it is all the hardware that needs to be built out for these various applications.
sure. And one trend that I'm seeing, and it's quite obvious, I'm sure you're seeing it as well, is that with the invention of AI PCs and the silicon that's going to support that, I mean, you're going to start seeing more workloads processed at network edges as well. So today, it's a lot of cloud connectivity. You're working very, very closely with the hyperscalers. You're enabling that with, to your point, Sandeep, the trillions of parameters. But AI will become, in my mind, hybrid over time, and you'll do processing in the cloud, you'll do processing at the network edge, and that just opens up additional opportunities, I believe, for Marvell and others, right, to step in
Yep.
there and provide what's needed from a connectivity and a power perspective and a latency perspective to make that all work. But as we kind of wrap up our discussion, any final thoughts, starting with you, Will?
Well, I think it's a very exciting time in the industry. It's, I think, a once in a lifetime opportunity for this new AI infrastructure to be built out. And we're really fortunate at Marvell to be a leader in this space. We have all of the assets, all the engineering team, the experience. We've done custom silicon for something like 25 years at Marvell. So
Hmm.
this isn't a new endeavor for us,
Yeah.
right? And we have all of the IPs as well as a process and a financial model and commitment to make it happen. And it's an incredibly exciting time for all of us, and the future is incredibly bright here as Marvell is supporting this transformation in AI. So I would say for the audience, keep following Marvell. We appreciate everybody, listening in, and we'll continue to provide updates and exciting news, as it comes out.
Yeah, as we say in Texas, this isn't Marvell's first rodeo. I mean, 25 years is an eternity in the tech industry as measured in, dog years, if you want to call it that. Sandeep, your final thoughts?
Yeah. First of all, I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to share our thoughts here, and to all the listeners out there. mm, I am super excited because for the AI has a shot in the arm for many of the people in the industry, including us, Marvell. And yeah, the talk has been a lot about software, but hardware is cool again. At the end of the day, all the powerful software needs
Yeah.
to run on something that can make all the magic possible. So hardware is cool again. People can have different Moore's laws there and all that, but the opportunity is significant for it is a large pie. Marvell wants has an opportunity as well as other companies, but we are here to really push the innovation to the bleeding edge and really make a difference in the custom silicon, whether it is from a connectivity piece, compute piece, and also look at it from a holistic platform level that includes several innovations across the board.
I like that phrase. Hardware is cool again, right? I mean, we've been so focused on software. Obviously, software is involved with the hardware and the silicon that Marvell provides to make this all, the magic all work. It's a platform at the end of the day. It's software plus silicon and hardware. But this has been a great discussion, gentlemen. I appreciate it. For our viewers, just to let you know, More Insights and Strategy has published quite a bit on this topic. We've also written quite a bit, and yours truly as well, about Marvell's capabilities on the Forbes platform as well as our own website. If you want to learn more about what Marvell is doing, visit moreinsightsandstrategy.com. But Sandeep, Will, thank you for your time. It's been a great conversation.
And thank you, Will.
Thanks for having us, Will. We appreciate it.